Nearly 2 years ago, I did an ayahuasca ceremony for the very first time. I got to work with a shaman who had a few hundred ceremonies under his belt. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with ayahuasca, it's a plant medicine that opens up your mind to connect with levels of yourself you've probably never accessed before, what some call an altered state. Now, altered states are different levels of the mind that allow you to tap into human abilities that most of the modern world has a tendency to ignore. In our world, we only learn to function in one level of mind called the beta brainwave, or the waking frequency, and maybe you're familiar with this. But consider the fact that our mind is much more complex than that. There are other brainwaves or frequencies that you can tap into. For example, alpha brainwaves for rest and relaxation. There's theta, which allows you to access intuition or subconscious. And then there's delta waves, where the really cool, mind-blowing stuff starts to happen. But here's the thing. In the modern world, we try to solve all of our problems from the waking or the beta level. But indigenous cultures, they use altered states to assist them in increasing their ability to solve problems all the time. They use ayahuasca and other forms of plant medicine to access other levels of their mind for insight, healing, and communication with a higher power. The great news is that our modern society is starting to wake up to these ancient practices that have been utilized since the dawn of modern time. In Steven Kotler's book, Stealing Fire, he says that the altered state industry is now at $1 trillion. But most of that includes meditation and neural training, which frankly can be quite expensive. Men and women of really any vocation, from CEOs to Navy SEALs and other military like myself, athletes, and employees of Silicon Valley tech giants are all using altered state tools to expand their awareness, solve problems, and break through walls in their life and business. In the book Altered Traits by Daniel Goleman, he talks about the 4 main ways to access altered states. There's neural training, which is way cool but very expensive. There's breath work, meditation, and finally the use of plant medicine. Now, Goleman says that the most important is meditation, which I'm inclined to agree with. In fact, I incorporate meditation and breath work into my daily and weekly routine. However, though this is an important exercise, it can take a long time to see the effects. That's why I like to work with plant medicine, whether it's ayahuasca, peyote, psilocybin mushrooms, or what have you, as a supplement to my meditation and breath work, so that I can access deeper levels of myself and my mind quicker and more efficiently, so I can solve problems faster. Does this sound like something you might need? Whether you are currently struggling with business or career-related obstacles, maybe you're suffering from addiction. Perhaps it's negative relationship patterns that never seem to change. Possibly you deal with fears that can drive you into an isolated state, unable to function. Maybe you suffer from depression, anxiety, and even PTSD on any level. Whatever it might be can benefit from this practice. As a Marine stationed in Fallujah, Iraq during the 2004 conflict, I saw enough combat that I came home with a healthy dose of PTSD. Some of my fellow soldiers had it worse than me. Statistics are showing that, on average, 22 veterans commit suicide a day. That's awful. I get it though. But I've also seen combat veterans be liberated from the pain and debilitating control of their PTSD by working with plant and other psychedelic medicine. When I began working with ayahuasca and other elements, I discovered that it didn't start and stop with the experience. It actually required at least a few weeks of preparation beforehand and a few weeks of integration after the experience. Unfortunately, I also noticed that this necessary process of preparation and integration was lacking or missing altogether for many who were beginning this journey. And because it is so important, I saw a need that could be met. That's why I've decided to leverage my skills in executive coaching to create a one-on-one program for those who are interested in partnering with plant medicine to remove blocks, increase their internal bandwidth, and begin implementing creative solutions in those areas of life and business where they are struggling to succeed. Today, I want to offer you the opportunity to take advantage of a free discovery call, a session with me for the purpose of deciding whether working with plant medicine is right for you. And if it is, what would it look like to work together for the next 90 days? Preparing you for your work with the medicine, and then after the experience, how to walk out or implement all that was accessed or received during your journey. If you even have the slightest pull or desire, or maybe that internal no, or that intuition that's going off inside saying, oh my goodness, this might just be what I'm looking for, then click through, answer some questions to give me a better understanding of where you're at, grab a spot on my calendar. It might not be for you, but then again, it may just save your life. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to connecting with you.